Welcome to all my dear Bhaiya Bahan in English class today. We are again going to start the same chapter, that is the enemy. We all know that this is a very long chapter. This chapter contains so many information regarding Japanese doctor, American soldier, about Dr. Sadao's wife, about Dr. Sadao's servant's behavior. In the previous class, we discussed that Sadao was successful in his mission. He operated that man successfully and took out the bullet from his wound. And we all know that as Dr. Sadao was a very expert surgeon, so that he couldn't commit mistakes while doing any operation. Today we shall start from the paragraph. They looked at each other for a moment, and then the young man closed his eyes and turned his face to the wall. Okay, he whispered, his mouth is a bitter line. Outside the door, Hana was waiting for Sadao. He saw at once that she was in trouble. In the previous class, we also discussed that Dr. Sadao, after operating him, he came to check him every day. And when the third day he came to check that man, he found that the man was sitting on his bed. He became very angry to see his condition. He told him and scolded him, "You cannot sit until I say you anything. You cannot speak until I say you to speak, even your names also." So in this paragraph we see Sadao and the boy exchanged glances, means they looked each other, and then the boy closed his eyes and turned his face towards the wall. He said okay in a low voice as he felt bitter by Sadao's words. Outside the door, Hana was waiting for Sadao. He saw that she was in some sort of a trouble. "Sadao, Yumi tells me the servants feel they cannot stay if we hide this man here anymore," she said. "She tells me that they are saying that you and I were so long in America that we have forgotten to think of our own country first. They think we like Americans." In this paragraph we see Hana was in trouble. Hana was in trouble for why? The reason is this. Hana said to Sadao that Yumi told her that the servants would not stay with them if the American men lived there any longer. She also said that Sadao and Hana had been in America for such a long time that they had forgotten their country's priority. Yumi and the servants thought that Hana and Sadao liked Americans. Here we see servants also didn't like to stay at home because they found that Sadao was taking proper care of that man, and they knew that that man was their enemy. So the servants were very upset. So they decided not to live in the house of Dr. Sadao. So Hana was disturbed. The another reason of the disturbance, Hana thought if they will leave the home, they may complain to the police. They may complain to the government. So that Hana was in fear. "It is not true," Sadao said harshly. "Americans are are enemies, but I have been trained not to let a man die if I can help it. See what Sadao said. Sadao reacted harshly and said that this was not true. He said that Americans were their enemies. He had been trained in such a way that he could not let a man die and would help to save him in whichever way he could. That was what Sadao had done. See the work of Dr. Sadao. Sadao was trained by the professor that in the eyes of any doctor, nobody is their enemies and nobody is their friends. So that Dr. Sadao said he had done only his duty to save a man. And what servants think, it is their opinion. The servants cannot understand that. She said anxiously. No, he agreed. Neither seemed able to say more, and somehow the household dragged on. The servants grew more watchful. Their courtesy was as careful as ever, but their eyes were cold upon the pair to whom they were hired. Again, Hannah said that the servants could not understand Sadao's predicament. Means there were the difference between Dr. Sadao and the servants. Dr. Sadao was thinking with his own mind. He was a doctor. He was an intelligent man, but the servants were foolish. Servants were illiterate. So what the servants will think, Sadao can't think. So Hannah said that the servants could not understand Sadao's predicament, Sadao's thought, Sadao's activity. Sadao agreed with this. Both of them had nothing more to say. The course of the house continued, but the servants were vigilant. They were polite but unfriendly towards their masters. Means inside the house, all the servants were vigilant. Means all the servants were alert. They were watching Dr. Sadao and his wife, what their masters were doing with that enemy. It is clear what our master ought to do, the old gardener said one morning. He had worked with flowers all his life and had been a specialist too in moss. For Sadao's father, he had made one of the finest moss gardens in Japan, sweeping the bright green carpet constantly so that not a leaf or a pine needle marred the velvet of its surface. My old master's son knows very well that what he ought to do. He now said, pinching a bud from a bush as he spoke. When the man was so near death, why did he not let him bleed? Here moss means a very small soft green plant. Pine needles means very thin sharp leaves that grow on pine trees. The next word is marred. Here marred means spoiled. See in this paragraph what the gardener said about Dr. Sadao and Hannah's activity. One morning, the old gardener said that it was obvious, it was clear what their master should have done. The old gardener had worked with flowers all his life and specialized in moss. He had been employed by Sadao's father. The gardener had made one of the best moss gardens in Japan for Sadao's father. He would sweep the bright green colored carpet of the moss clean so that the sharp leaves of pine tree could not spoil the soft velvety surface. He plucked a flower bird from the bush as he said that his master's son, that is Sadao knew very well what he was supposed to do. He added that when the man was almost dead, he should have left him to bleed to death. Here the gardener had said, if that man was going to die near the seashore, why Dr. Sadao brought him into the house? Why not he left him to bleed to death? है ना, गार्डनर ने क्या कहा, जब ये आदमी मरने ही वाला था तो इसको वहीं पर सदाओ छोड़ देता, खून निकलता रहता और ये मर जाता. But here Dr. Sadao did his duty best. That young master is so proud of his skill to save life that he saves any life. The cook said contemptuously. She split a false neck skillfully and held the fluttering bird and let its blood flow into the roots of a wisteria vine. Blood is the best of fertilizers, and the old gardener would not let her waste a drop of it. Here there are two words. Contemptuously means disrespectfully. Wisteria vine means a flowering plant used for decoration. In this paragraph we say, the cook said disrespectfully that their master was so proud of his skill at saving lives that he did not bother whose life he was saving. She cut the neck of a hen skillfully and held the bird as it shivered. She let the blood of the hen flow into the wisteria plant. The old gardener had instructed her that blood was the best fertilizer for the plants, and he did not allow her to waste a single drop of it. It is the children of whom we must think, Yumi said sadly. What will be their fate if their father is condemned as a traitor? Here, traitor means a person who betrays his country. Here, Yumi said, Yumi was worried about the fate of Sadao and Hana's children. She wondered that when they grew up, they would be labeled as the children of a traitor. As Sadao was helping an American, all the people of Japan would consider him to be an enemy of Japan, a traitor of his country. See the next paragraph. They did not try to hide what they said from the ears of Hana as she stood arranging the day's flowers in the veranda nearby. And she knew they spoke on purpose that she might hear. That they were right, she knew too in most of her being. But there was another part of her which she herself could not understand. It was not sentimental liking of the prisoner. She had come to think of him as a prisoner. She had not liked him even yesterday when he had said in his impulsive way, Anyway, let me tell you that my name is Tom. She had only bowed her little distant bow. She saw hurt in his eyes, but she did not wish to assuage it. Indeed, he was a great trouble in this house. Here there are two difficult words. Impulsive means sudden or thoughtless. Assuage means decrease or reduce. In this paragraph we see, as Hana stood in the veranda arranging the flowers, the servants discussed the matter in her presence as they wanted her to know their views about the matter. Hana also felt that the servants were right, but she had some feelings for the injured man which she could also not analyze. She did not like the prisoner, neither was she attached towards him. The day before, the injured man told her that his name was Tom. See here, the name of that young boy was Tom. Hana did not like him at that moment also. She had reacted by bowing her head mildly. She saw that her reaction hurt the injured man, but she did not want to reduce this hurt that she had caused to him because the injured man was a great trouble to her. His presence was a threat to Hannah and Sadao. We all know that young boy's presence in the house was a threat for Hannah and Sadao. Really, it was a threat. As for Sadao, every day he examined the wound carefully. The last stitches had been pulled out this morning, and the young man would, in a fortnight, be nearly as well as ever. Sadao went back to his office and carefully typed a letter to the chief of police reporting the whole matter. On the 21st day of February, an escaped prisoner was washed up on the shore in front of my house. So far, he typed, and then he opened a secret drawer of his desk and put the unfinished report into it. In this paragraph, we see one day Sadao went to his office. Sadao was performing his role perfectly. He would examine the wound every day. This is the duty of a doctor. One morning, the last stitches were removed from the injured man's body, and he would be as well as ever in the next 15 days. In the meantime, Sadao went to his office and wrote a letter to the chief of the police to report the entire matter to him. Sadao started his report and he wrote that on the 21st of February, an escaped prisoner was washed up on the shore in front of his house. Sadao had just typed this much of the report. He opened the drawer of his desk and kept this unfinished report in it. Means on this day, Dr. Sadao wanted to give this report to the police against that man, but what did he do? He wrote half of the letter, unfinished letter, and he didn't report it to the police. He kept it in the drawer of his desk secretly, and he didn't give it to the police. Next paragraph. On the seventh day after that, two things happened. In the morning, the servants left together, their belongings tied in a large square cotton kerchiefs. When Hannah got up in the morning, nothing was done, the house not cleaned, and the food not prepared, and she knew what it meant. She was dismayed and even terrified, but her pride as a mistress would not allow her to show it. Instead, she inclined her head gracefully when they appeared before her in the kitchen, and she paid them off and thanked them for all that they had done for her. They were crying, but she did not cry. The cook and the gardener had served Sadao since he was a little boy in his father's house, and Yumi cried because of the children. She was so grieving that after she had gone, she ran back to Hannah. Here there are some words like kerchiefs means a square piece of cloth. You can say handkerchief. Dismayed means shocked. Mistress, a woman in a position of authority or control. Inclined means bent towards one side. Grieving, in a state of sadness. Here in this paragraph we see, on the seventh day after that, two things happened. The servants of the house left in the morning. They had tied their belongings in huge pieces of cloth. When Hannah got up in the morning, she saw that the work had not been done. The house was dirty and the food had not been cooked. She realized that the servants were up to something. She was shocked and horrified when she came to know that the servants were leaving. Hannah did not show her feelings to the servants. Instead, she remained calm and maintained her grace as the lady of the house. She paid the servants and thanked them for their services. As the servants had been working there for many years, they were crying, but Hannah did not cry. The cook and the gardener were very old employees. They had been employed by Sadao's father and had served Sadao since his childhood. Yumi was crying because she would miss the children. She was so sad that she ran up to Hannah after she had left. When Yumi went to Hannah, Yumi said, "If the baby misses me too much tonight, send for me. I am going to my own house and you know where it is." "Thank you," Hannah said, smiling, but she told herself she would not send for Yumi. However, the baby cried. When Yumi was leaving the house, Yumi said to Hannah that if the baby missed her at night, she could call her. She further added that she was going to her own house and Hannah knew where her house was. Hannah smiled and thanked her for the offer, but to herself she said that in case the baby cried, she would not call for you. Means Hannah was determined if the baby will cry, she will not call Yumi. Because Hannah was also very sad for this movement in the house. Hannah was also very worried to see the behavior of the servant in the house. Next paragraph. She made the breakfast and Sadao helped with the children. Neither of them spoke of the servants beyond the fact that they were gone. But after Hannah had taken morning food to the prisoner, she came back to Sadao. Here we see the next morning Hannah prepared the breakfast and Sadao helped her by looking after the children. Neither of them talked regarding servants, but after Hannah served the morning food to the prisoner of war, she came back to Sadao, probably to talk something. Means after the servants had gone, she came to Dr. Sadao and said something. She said, "Why is it we cannot see clearly what we ought to do?" She asked him. "Even the servants see more clearly than we do. Why are we different from other Japanese?" Hannah was very worried here. And she questioned that why they were not very clear about what they ought to do. She added that even their servants were very clear as compared to them. She said that why were they behaving differently from other Japanese people? Hannah wanted to say that as Americans were their enemies, they should not have treated that prisoner of war and they should have let him die just like any other Japanese would have done. After listening this, Sadao did not answer. But a little later, he went into the room where the prisoner was and said briskly, "Today you may get up on your feet. I want you to stay up only 5 minutes at a time. Tomorrow you may try twice as long. It would be well that you get back your strength as quickly as possible." Here the word briskly. Briskly means quickly. In this paragraph we see Sadao did not reply to Hannah, but after some time he went into the room where the prisoner of war was resting and spoke very fast. He said that day the man could get up and stand on his feet. Sadao wanted him to stand only for 5 minutes at a time. Further, he added that the next day he could try to stand for double the time, that is 10 minutes. Sadao also said that it would be good for everyone that the men regained strength as soon as possible. Sadao hinted that they wanted to get rid of the American as early because he had become a cause of trouble for them. Here we see Dr. Sadao also wanted to get freedom from that man. After listening this, that young man told Dr. Sadao, "Don't thank me too early," Sadao said coldly. He saw the flicker of terror again in the boy's eyes. Terror as unmistakable as an animal's. The scars on his neck were crimson for a moment. Those scars, what were they? Sadao did not ask. Here crimson means bright red color. In this paragraph we see Sadao was very expressionless when he said that the boy did not need to thank him yet. As he spoke this, he saw that the hint of scare again appeared in the boy's eyes. The writer compares the boy's terrorized eyes to that of a scared animal. The injury marks on the neck of the boy turned the bright red in color for a while. Sadao thought that what has caused those injury marks, but he did not ask the boy about them. In this way, today we have learned so many things about what did Dr. Sadao think about that man, what did Hannah think about that man, why did the servants leave the house, what was the thinking of the servant about Dr. Sadao and Hannah, but what did Dr. Sadao do with that man. So, today we shall stop here. Next day we shall start from the next paragraph and we shall try to finish this chapter. Till then, thank you. Have a nice day.